I am fed up. Straight up, I'm just fed up. What's going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk. Back at it with another video talking some NBA. And yes, I am fed up, like I said, because as you guys see from the title, it has gotten to a point where I felt like I had to just address this topic and just ask why we bash on LeBron James so much. Okay, let me first explain what I mean when I say LeBron is the most criticized superstar in NBA history. And there has been a long NBA history, like 70, 80 years, whatever the league's been around. And there's been a lot of superstars. There's been a lot of great players. But this man, LeBron James, number 23 on the Cleveland Cavaliers, has been the most scrutinized, the most polarizing, the most criticized superstar in NBA history. And I'm just fed up because I don't think LeBron deserves this type of treatment. And I think when his career is said and done, when it is over, we are going to look back on his career and say, wow, we did not appreciate this man enough. This was a once-in-a-generation type player, a player who I still believe has a chance to still be the all-time greatest. Right now, I have him as the second greatest player of all time. I will get into that more a little shortly. But point being is, when we will look back on his career, we will say, wow, we did not appreciate LeBron enough. And that's what happens, folks. That's in life as well. You don't appreciate things until they're gone. And we don't appreciate LeBron James. And it looks like, at least not for me, but for people that like to criticize LeBron, they won't appreciate him until his career is said and done. So let me just walk you guys through what I mean by this, okay? So the NBA playoffs are going on, and LeBron James is expected to be great every game. That I get. Totally get it. He's an all-time great. If you don't show up and you don't play well, you're going to get criticized because you set the bar up so high. You set it all the way up here. Totally understand that. But wait a minute. The second LeBron James has a bad game, you are more than welcome to criticize him. But it seems like LeBron has a bad game, but his teammates don't step up, and they still lose. Okay? So when he has a bad game and he needs his teammates, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, to step up, like he did in Game 3 when he had a bad game against the Boston Celtics in the NBA playoffs, the Eastern Conference Finals, no one stepped up. LeBron gets scrutinized because the Cavs lost. But then, if you look at the next game, Kyrie Irving comes through, puts up 40 points, puts up 21 points in the third quarter, and actually helps out LeBron. Even though LeBron still had a pretty good game, 34 points, he was in foul trouble for the majority of the first half. But Kyrie Irving actually does what he needs to do and what he's being paid to do, which is play well. And Kyrie carried the team. So it's like when LeBron doesn't play well and he needs guys around him to pick up the slack, they don't do it, and then the blame is on him. But then when they do it, he gets none of the credit. Or I guess what I mean by that is he was carried by Kyrie. And that to me just makes no sense, okay? Like I said, we have to go back to Jordan here again. When he had Paxson and Steve Kerr hit game-winning shots, we never said that they carried them. No, of course, there were role players and Kyrie Irving's a superstar. But there were games Scottie Pippen played better than Michael Jordan. And we barely ever said Scottie Pippen ever carried MJ. Certainly not. And so it's just, that just irks me so much, okay? And then you look at last year when he was down 3-1 in the NBA Finals. Comes back from a 3-1 deficit, okay? And leads the Cavaliers to a victory over a 73-win team. The most wins in the regular season NBA history. By the way, MJ never beat a team, a 70-win team in the NBA regular season, in the NBA playoffs, excuse me. And when LeBron does it, oh, Draymond got suspended, that's why. Oh, Bogut got hurt. Oh, actually, Steph Curry wasn't healthy all the playoffs. But Steph Curry was dropping 40 against Portland in last year's playoff round, and he was healthy then. It just doesn't make sense to me, okay? Another quick point. So LeBron's Cavs dominate the East. They completely dominated. And all of a sudden the narrative changes to the East is weak. The East has no competition. There's no one good in the East. And yeah, I get it, okay? There are less superstars in the East than there are in the West, okay? But point being is, if you just take out the Cavs and you just take out how dominant the Cavs are in the East and you remove them, could you definitively tell me the team that would be the number one seed in the East? The Celtics were the number one seed this year, but people have called them the worst number one seed in NBA history. The Raptors, would they be the number one seed? Then you look at a team like maybe the Wizards, would they be the number one seed? The Hawks, Bucks. It's up for grabs, folks. Okay, if Cleveland wasn't so dominant because of LeBron James, the East would be very competitive. And we wouldn't be saying all this, oh, the East is a cakewalk. Every series would go to 6 or 7 besides the Cavs because the Cavs are so dominant because of LeBron James. So again, he beats up on inferior competition, which is what he is supposed to do. Not only does he beat up on them, he dominates them, but there is no competition because he's dominating it. We don't like the fact that he's dominating the competition. It's too easy for him, so we like to say, oh, he has no competition in the East. Furthermore, LeBron takes a garbage team to the NBA Finals in 2007 when he was just like, what, 22 years old? It was a garbage team, okay? Larry Hughes was on that team. I believe Sasha Pavlich, Junas Ilgauskas, Drew Gooden. That starting five was awful, okay? And you couldn't name... I just watch the NBA a lot, so I know these players, but the average fan would never be able to name any of the players from that Cavs team. And he takes that team to the NBA Finals, but loses. So you're telling me, and he gets blamed for that, by the way, oh, he got swept by the Spurs. Well, no, duh. The Spurs were a much better team. The Cavs had no business being in the NBA Finals. LeBron James is the reason the Pistons, who dominated the East for like 6 years, broke up. So you're telling me that it's worse to get to the finals and lose than to lose early in the first or second round. Okay, Michael Jordan played 15 seasons, won 6 NBA championships, and all you hear is 6-0, 6-0. But there were 9 times that he got eliminated or lost before the NBA Finals. Okay, LeBron James is probably going to be going to more finals than Michael Jordan. Actually, he's already been to more finals than Michael Jordan. He's 3-4. That is what people talk about. Again, but the point being is you are getting blamed, and I mean you as in LeBron, getting blamed for getting to the finals and losing more so than you would if you lost earlier. Okay? Tell me how that makes sense. And then you get this one a lot. Oh, the NBA was much tougher when Michael Jordan was playing. He would get hacked left and right. There was hand checking back then. LeBron plays in a much softer league. You know, guys flop and stuff. Actually, if you look at the numbers, Jordan actually averaged more free throws than LeBron did in his career during that stretch. And also the field goal percentage for teams was higher when Jordan played, as well as the points per game, than when LeBron plays. Oh, not to mention the athletes now are bigger, stronger, faster, and more skilled than the athletes back then. So, to me, again, just saying, it's not true when people say, oh, the league was much tougher. It feels like that, but that's why I say a lot of people just go off intuition. They don't look into the facts, they don't look into the numbers, and they don't look into what actually is the reason why. And the last point I'll make here is this notion, okay? And I know where it comes from, and I will address that. Anytime LeBron has a bad game, it feels like this always comes up. LeBron quit or LeBron gave up and stopped trying. Okay? Every time this happens, anytime LeBron has a bad game, he's considered, oh, he was too passive, he quit, he didn't want it. Where was the intensity? Because Michael and Kobe had the killer instinct, if you will. And again, you don't hear this with any other superstars in the league right now. Kevin Durant, you didn't hear it. Back when Tim Duncan played, you didn't hear it. Guys, any other guys right now, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, you name it. Any guys, if they have a bad game, you never have anyone say they quit or they gave up. No, they just had a bad game, and they don't leave it at that. And again, I get it where it comes from, the 2011 NBA Finals, right? When LeBron lost to the Mavericks, in which he had a very bad series. I'll give you that. But I also know this. I don't know any other superstar, and that's MJ included, that would have beat the 73-win Team Warriors last year, coming down from 3-1. That would have taken the 2015 Warriors to 6 games without their 2 other best players. I'm talking about when Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love were hurt. And I also don't know any other superstar that would have taken that team that LeBron took, that garbage team, to the NBA Finals in 2007. Okay? So when you take something away, you also have to remember the fact that these are other things that LeBron has done that no other player in NBA history has done or would have done. Okay? And those are just facts. Like I said, I don't see why other superstars don't even get the inkling. Kevin Durant, it's just pissing me off because it's like it feels like he's on a silver platter for the media where fans and media don't care otherwise. And I get it. He went to the Warriors now to chase rings, and that's fine. He can do what he wants, but he does not nearly get criticized. And to me, back to the point, folks, listen. Okay? Yes, LeBron is trying to be the greatest. Yes, he is trying to chase Michael Jordan. I get all that, but let's just still appreciate what we are seeing. You know, as soon as LeBron has a bad game, people can't wait. And it's just like, look, he's still human at the end of the day. He is still real, okay? As much as LeBron is a cyborg because he never gets hurt, knock on wood, and I'm knocking on wood. He's still real, and I feel like we won't appreciate the greatness of LeBron James until after he retires, and I just don't want that to happen. He's got, what, maybe 5-6 more years left at most. Let's enjoy the ride instead of complaining about the ride. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, comment down below, and thanks for watching.